Hey everyone, I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Frazier. We're jumping right into your watches and warnings for this Thursday. And you know what I'm looking at? A lot of heat. Yeah, the heat is on across the entirety of the country. Some areas a bit toastier than others. Wyoming, much of southern Wyoming is all going to be under the extreme heat warnings. Much of West Denver is looking at that, or West Colorado, west of Denver, and much of Utah, even extending out into Nevada. Wow, it is a scorcher. Heading out into the Central Plains, much of central Oklahoma, southern Kansas, and even northern Texas is going to be under those. A lot of the warnings have expired for Midland, Odessa, and West Texas, so there's a silver lining there, but it is just hot across the country. The forecast highs today, yeah, it's getting up there. So while Midland, Odessa isn't in the, heat warnings or advisories, we're still in the triple digits. Yeah, we're used to the heat. But what about Denver? Almost hitting those triple digits. Wow, yeah, much of Texas. Phoenix, okay, always takes the cake. 117 for your Thursday. Overnight, okay, things try to cool down. Not very effectively, though. Still a lot of those mid to upper 70s across the Lone Star State. Denver actually cooling down into those 60s. Phoenix staying in those 90s, 60s across much of the eastern U.S., and 50s out farther to the west. All right, all of the showers and thunderstorms, they're staying away from the Lone Star State. They're really affecting much of the northern plains. Look at this. Heading into Iowa, level 1 severe risk for today, and then going into late on Thursday afternoon. Wow, woo-wee. Level 3 enhanced risk. So that means we're looking at tornadoes, hail, wind, you name it. This entire system kind of breaks apart around midnight or so once that atmospheric heating dies down. Then we start to see a kick up once again Friday afternoon. Model data doesn't have it very strong, but even those very small localized cells can produce some very powerful storms across the Dakotas and into Minnesota. Going into the weekend, things start to calm down. Most of the rain is going to be heavily localized to the Great Lakes and really just Florida. That's going to be the only areas I'm seeing significant amounts of rainfall. So that means the heat is on and it's staying on too. 6 to 10 day outlook from the 12th to the 16th, above average temperatures for basically the entirety of the country with the exception of Montana and North Dakota. So forecast highs heading into the weekend. I'm looking at some of those 90s popping up in Portland, Oregon, and even Boise, Idaho, Spokane, Washington. Wow. Yeah, certainly heating up. Okay, Phoenix stays on the hot side, but even Denver, okay, Denver's starting to cool down. San Diego staying nice. Sacramento in those upper 90s. Much of Texas, triple digits and those upper 90s. We're going to be keeping our eye on a lot of that stuff, even heading into much of the southeast. Yeah. Still more of those 80s and those 90s. And of course, more of those 80s and 90s. That's going to continue even heading into the Great Lakes area. But much of the East Coast actually on the better side of summer. A mix of those 80s, 70s. That's going to be about it though. So you guys make sure to stay safe and stay cool out there.